Hello and good evening. We've just finished watching Survivor episode 4 of Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans, knife to the heart. And but here on this channel, Super Mario Brothers podcast, also live streaming with what is it we got here? Hey, did you see this one as well? Whether it be on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you get your audio podcasts, our mission to cover every twist, blindside, meltdown, and masterstroke continues here. The season features the largest cast in U.S. Survivor history, 24 returning players across 49 seasons. Another chaotic vote out here tonight, another sacrificial lamb, and we're going to talk all about it. I'm your host, Dave Mader, joined once again with a great panel here. The man for the competitions, the chaos, the clutch performances. If a challenge is brilliant, he's ranking. If it's a flop, he's calling it out. It's Josh Foster.
Happy to be here, Dave.
Hey, Josh. And also with us here tonight, of course, our pro wrestling aficionado, always ready to call it the heel turns, the babyface plays, and the tribal theatrics that feel straight out of the squared circle. In this episode full of big characters and these big swigs, he's already breaking down the booking. Jason R. Phillips, everyone.
Speaking of booking, I have wanted the shows to go back to 60 minutes. And tonight they said, here's the monkey paw, one finger curls, and we get 60 minutes of new content.
Indeed. Here, and spoilers, if you have not seen this episode, knife to the heart, we are about to, if you haven't, then we're about to knife to your spoilers. Mike White goes out here, everyone, in a pre-merge boot, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm a fan of Mike White. I liked his original season. He's a great character. He was a great player. But Christian Hubicki, his David versus Goliath alliance was not such a great alliance, as he stabs him in the back, knife to the heart from the back, I would say, and through some, whatever else is in the back. Josh, your reaction at this hour?
What a whole lot of nothing in this episode. Oh my goodness. First of all, I said this last time, I think, or the time before, I actually was starting to like Mike, and if it wasn't for their guest appearance and the kind of, I'm a celebrity, inserting yourself, if it was like last episode and Mike got voted out, I would have been sad, but I was not in the mood towards the end of the episode. And I said, good riddance, Mike, you caught me at a bad time. I don't feel anything for you. Gone.
Okay, and Jason, I don't know, we'll get into the Zac Brown of it all and everything else that this episode gave us, but just in terms of the outcome game wise here tonight, Mike White goes out here again. This new Vatu tribe, not so successful. They had already voted out Q in the previous episode. Here, Mike goes instead of. It could have been Emily. It could have been Angelina. Those were seeming like the other options that it could have been here. How do you feel about it?
So what's unique about this is last week I lost Q, who in my other fantasy game that actually has money riding on it, I lost my MVP. So I'm basically a lock to lose. You lose your MVP this early on, you can't get the points really to really mount a comeback. I didn't have Mike White on my team, but he was my second choice for MVP. So it's like I feel like I lost my MVP 2 weeks in a row, and I really like Mike White, but the way that they framed him in this episode made him look like the biggest dork manipulator loser. There was that scene where they showed him kind of through the bushes, and he was just kind of standing on the beach going like this, and I was like, man, they found possibly the worst angle to show this guy. And the whole time that he was talking to Christian, I'm like, and Christian was going through it about, him getting stabbed in the back in his season, him worried about Emily stabbing in the back because Mike was manipulating him. I was like, King of the Nerds kind of got his comeuppance here. He kind of ended up going home by not being the great manipulator, Machiavellian person in the background he thought he was.
Yeah, but was his fatal flaw here with Christian? Is that really he took Christian for granted? Was my feeling about it. That
I think so, yeah.
otherwise, I think he, like Ozzy wanted Mike to stay, and Stephanie, I don't think cared whether it was Mike or if it wasn't Mike, or if it was Mike, or as long as it wasn't her. She felt like after losing Q, she was on the bottom, so she was just playing like whatever you want to do, wherever the wind, which way the wind's blowing. And we saw here that Ozzy rather, was left out of this vote. He'll be pissed in the next episode. I don't know what the ramifications are. Like, I guess he won't catch you fish. It's not, he's not catching Zac Brown level fish, but it's something. Anyway, I don't know.
I think with Mike White, I felt like what I think did him in was his attachment to keep Angela, right? I think he needed to see past that for what it was worth. And, if let's just say he was still around with Angela, if they had voted anybody else out, would they have that much better of a chance, to survive the next immunity challenge, right? And his
they
stubbornness,
were
I guess,
regretting getting rid of Q at that challenge today. I could.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for that challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that. I mean, it would have helped, but I still feel like the way that the other two, like Jonathan's like three men. First of all, right? Like he was basically doing it all as you know what I mean. And then you have the other tribe with Colby and Joe, plus coach. Like again, if they had Q, I don't think they would have won either. But I feel like with Mike, he was so adamant to keep Angelina that he wasn't open to solidifying something with like Christian and Ozzy, right? Either together or separately. And it just didn't seem like, even the way that when they're talking about Angelina and he's kind of trying to shift the direction of why to keep her so that it applies to everyone beneficially. The only thing, like, you could see he's like not coming up with a great reason other than she's a number, who's not going to be a threat to us. Right. And that wasn't really a strong argument for anybody to keep her. And his kind of, defiance, in a sense, Christian was like, well, then I'm not dealing with this, right? Because at least I can work with Emily, to try and, move forward, kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, like I feel like there's a few ways you can look at how this all went with this new Vatu tribe and the dynamics coming out of the Q vote. Stephanie should be on the bottom, but for whatever reason, I guess it's really comes down to Mike. I think it's the genesis of this all comes back to Mike White, where he's like, well, no, I would like to get out Emily because he's freaked out by Emily. Emily's like the wolf in sheep's clothing, as he says to her. She's playing hard. She's a gamer. She knows it inside and out. So then he wants to get it on to Emily. So because it's Angelina, I guess it's also Angelina. They want to get out Angelina instead of Stephanie.
I thought Angelina was a lock. Like, I don't know. I felt like Angelina was a lock last week too. Like, just get rid of the weak player when you're the weak team, and you'll be able to kind of shore up the difficult elements of your team. But at the same time, it's like this tribe is just eviscerating themselves. They're cannibalizing themselves. End up, like we talked about, how dropping your buffs seemingly meant that Jeff didn't want, or the producers or whatever didn't want one of those teams to just like disintegrate over the course of several weeks. But it's still just going to happen that way because, like Foster was saying, the other two teams are so well balanced comparatively. Anyway, like you're right. Like what Jonathan, was that his name? The big jacked guy?
Yes.
Basically picking up the whole boat and tossing it onto the beach for them was incredible.
Yeah, well, like the fact that they came as close as they did was all because of him. Yeah. Really, largely. Like like D's no slouch, and they have some players on that team who can compete a bit. And this Vatu tribe was just so outmatched. But yeah, you're right. Voting out Q was a kind of a short-sighted thing because you're just gonna come right back to tribal here, and you don't get a chance to
that too.
Down. Yeah,
and Ozzy even said that. I think when they got back, they're like, "We know we're just going to end up back out there, so we got to make a plan." And they didn't make a plan. When they were going to vote, it seemed like 3 names got written down. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Let's hear Mike's exit interview, just fresh here, because I think I want to get a sense of like I think he was just happy he got voted out. He was like, oh, whatever. Okay, cool. I'll go home. Like, see you later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done a lot earlier than I thought. Like,
I'll go finish writing season 4 of White Lotus with my new experiences.
right. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't need to work the whole day. Okay, well, that's whatever. See ya. I guess I didn't win. Bye. Here's Mike.
I'm so stoked to have been able to be a part of this. This is a legendary moment. Having these couple days with Christian and Angelina were a great time for me and brought me back to the heyday of my time in Survivor. This is a very exclusive invite, and I feel lucky to have gotten it. Sorry I gotta leave early, but them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah, he did not seem like, and even like when he got, it just didn't seem like, I guess he needed somebody to, I guess, work with him, kind of like how Christian's working with Rick, right? In terms of like that energy and like working off each other, right? And Mike didn't really seem like he had somebody to basically like motivate him to keep going, right? Because he even said, what was the first episode where it's kind of like, I'm just here to like, experience it again kind of thing. Like, I'm obviously not going to say no, right? And so like you could tell like it was very apparent that his heart wasn't in it, right? Like he kind of, like I said, maybe that's why he wanted Angelina to stay around.
Here's the thing. If the next thing we're gonna see in this season is that Ozzy's pissed about how this vote went, Mike goes here, but Ozzy has no one to blame but himself, in my opinion. And here's why. Because he is playing 2 steps ahead. He wants to get out Angelina here in the now. And that's all fine and dandy until everything, flips around. Because he wants to get Angelina out so he can get closer to Mike. Because his hope is, like, as Christian says, to be on the White Lotus cameo or go deep in the game with Mike, once presumably Ozzy gets back with Sari and whoever else, I guess, right? That could be the next dynamic. So therefore, when he finds out that Mike's in danger here, because Emily's like, Mike's trying to target me, and now we're going to flip it onto Mike, is what is basically after Ozzy's been fishing all this time. That's what the pitch that Emily now comes out to there, and then Christian in the background going, "What are you doing? Like, you can't be giving away this whole thing. We were leaving Ozzy out of this." So everyone miscalculating the relationships with each other. It's kind of incredible for this all to collide at once. So we see here that Ozzy ends up voting here for Angelina, whereas Mike and Angelina vote together to vote out Emily, right? So like if Ozzy should be willing to then flip around, I think, in my opinion, and work with Mike and Angelina. Say, okay, listen, we have to there's 3 of us. We're gonna need to find at least one more vote. Because it's probably going on to Mike or you. And he could just what I'm basically saying is wait to get out Angelina. You can work with Mike now. You can build trust with Mike now, working with Angelina. If it's okay if she's closer to him right now, because you can still get her out later. It doesn't have to be at this stage, and that's my complaint here with Ozzy.
That was Mike's kind of move with Q, though. I feel like he was thinking 2 steps ahead when he kind of orchestrated that. But this ended up, I would put this at Christian ending up orchestrating this. He sort of put the plan into motion, and everybody sort of freaked out and just let it happen. But I agree with you on the Angelina front.
Well, yeah, and this whole thing was so chaotic, right? I guess because Stephanie was going along, she ends up voting the right way. Let's see if Foster can come. Foster, you good? I don't know.
Chaos. It's chaos. It's a stab in the heart from the back through the scapula.
Mm-hmm. It's a knife to the heart. Not sure in the direction.
Both ways.
Both ways. Straight through and back through.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if Foster's having a great connection right here. Or can you hear us, Foster? No. So let's see if he comes back. Okay. Well, maybe like I don't know. I was kind of waiting for when Jaemeel gets here. But I'm not sure how soon he can be here. Foster. Okay. Anyway,
Going live now to Foster, who has left and rejoined the chat 42 times. Oh, and there he goes again.
okay. I guess he'll speak up once he can hear us because it's almost like he's here. Then he leaves. Okay. So the Zac Brown of it all. Okay, I'm not against country music. I'm just not following the country music scene. I think I've heard of Zac Brown, but I wouldn't say he's a household name in my opinion, or in my household at least.
I have heard of Zac Brown, but I listen to primarily like metal and classic rock and the stuff I listen to besides country. I looked him up because I've been following this this thing with who's the person that called out Stephanie for being MAGA from previous Erica?
Oh, Eliza.
I follow Eliza on TikTok, and I've been following this whole thing and the idea that CBS is trying to spin a narrative. And so I was like, oh, is this guy MAGA? So I looked into him, and he's not. He has a song that's anti-ICE. He seems, though, to be a fence sitter. Now, I don't know if you know the concept of a fence sitter. He's the kind of person that would be like, I don't really subscribe to either side. It usually means they're a Republican who doesn't like to talk about their politics and who will say things like, we shouldn't have politics in music, when he's one of the biggest recording artists in the States, and he is a country music recording artist. So he just put a bad taste in my mouth immediately. And then when they showed a 5-minute montage of him spearfishing, he pulled out what Jaemeel in our chat said looked like a rail gun. He pulled out this piece of tech to spearfish that looked like a rocket launcher. And I couldn't help but feel like, did he really go out there and hunt that fish? Or did he have just like a team of people with him that brought him to a fish with this? It felt like he was fishing with dynamite with how big this stupid device was. While he's like, oh, I just like to be out among the fish. I feel so small in the ocean. And he knows everything about sharks.
The sharks might eat him.
All of this stuff was so contrived to me. And I was like, oh, he may not be MAGA like outwardly, but this whole segment felt very right wing.
It felt very, like not right. I would say more like country rural, which I guess codes is right wing. I don't know. He seemed like a nice fella. He had nice manners. I don't know. Like
I won't lie. Like
I never heard of him I heard of his band and whatever, I guess. And like, his songs were nice little, like, emotional songs, I guess. It's not, I didn't hate it, but like, in our chat, our friend Jen, she said she was not enjoying it. I'm glad someone else cringed inside out. I was going to say the worst episode ever, but I didn't want to offend the Zac heads.
You're just reading everything I posted.
That's what you said. Oh, so you said that first. Oh, okay. But who posted the original? Oh, it was like, I can't watch a man sing a song. They get all emotional. They sway. It's embarrassing. That was Jen, right?
Jen did the Seinfeld reaction because I don't know you guys that well. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I was like, maybe Dave likes country music. I don't want to say some shit in a chat. Jaemeel loves Zac Brown. I know. Jaemeel was like, yeah, he's my favorite artist. I love country. Look at me.
I don't know her.
Jaemeel. Okay, hello, Jaemeel, coming in here tonight. Look at with the thank you, sir. With the buzz. Happy birthday.
Your ears lowered.
He's the biggest Zac head of them all, perhaps. Funko stacked to opinions primed. Pop culture tactician who can smell the misleading edit from a mile away. Jaemeel Robinson, everyone.
Happy birthday, Pisces Power.
Pisces Power. Always with the.
in our chat, Jason knows for a fact that I am not a Zac Brown fan.
True.
I made that clearly known because I've never heard of this man before,
No.
right? If my life depended on it, I couldn't tell you a
He's been
single
active
song.
since 2002, according to Wikipedia.
2002, not active anywhere near my earbuds. Okay.
I just want to catch my fish, drink my beer, drive
And-
my truck.
That's not his song, right?
I
He's
don't
not the
think
guy who
that's
sings
his
that
song.
song, is he? No.
I
I don't know.
And
two
for the
people that genuinely seemingly cared about him seemed to be Colby and D. Everyone else was a
And
big
Aubrey.
fat.
Aubrey, that was what Jen was the one who said that she was cringed over the swaying of Aubrey. She closed her eyes and made her embarrassed for her.
She was in her
When she
Happy
saw Zac
Gilmore
Brown.
happy place. That's what.
Yeah. I think that's what Tiffany was trying to do. She was
Oh,
like,
man.
okay, great. This is
I would have been like, let me
What?
go back to the buffet and have some more fish. You guys are cool over there. I'll just go over there.
Jaemeel, did you enjoy the musical performance by Zac Brown?
Oh, it is the second best musical performance I've heard this season. Yeah, you had to think about it for a second there.
Second best, huh?
you know when Jeff was like, I said a hip, a hop, hip to the
hip
hop,
to the
and a
hop.
hip hop, and we all play Survivor.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Mike is muted.
Oh, you're unmuted. Sorry.
Okay, you know whose face you never saw during that entire rap? Suri.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Suri's eyes were rolling out of her skull.
You know, Cicely and Genevieve doesn't look too impressed either.
Yes, and Aubrey had the exact same reaction she had to Zac Brown. So I think.
Have you ever seen Hannibal Buress do that bit on a podcast about old school hip hop? And he's playing with an 808 drum. He's like, hip hop started out in the park. That's what that reminded me of. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's the funniest shit. I think T-Pain is sitting next to him and just losing his mind about how funny it is. Hip hop started out in the park.
Jaemeel, are you saying to me that in a battle of the bands, which is what it's the Zac Brown band versus Jeff Probst's rap group, where he's dropping beats, they have they do a set each with the snaps. He's got the Survivor contestants doing snaps behind him. He owns their souls. Is Jeff Probst winning this battle of the bands? Yes.
Jeff Probst has done 2 songs so far in Survivor, if I remember correctly. He did one either last season or the season before. And I've heard 2 of Zac Brown songs. I believe they're songs, actual songs. And I'll take Jeff Probst because I'm pretty sure that's how long Jeff Probst songs are. I'm sure that Zac Brown songs are much, much longer.
Maybe so.
Jeff Probst is part of the show, not some extra element that has to take over a half an hour of this episode.
My wife goes, that's weird. It's 8:30 and they're already done reward challenge. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be some shenanigan at the end, I bet. Like somebody's gonna get medvaced. And then Zac Brown came out and I was like, oh, he's gonna do a half-hour concert. And then we both looked at each other like terrified. And that's what happened. He basically did 2 songs in this weird thing, this mega coded fishing trip. and then
He has a
railgun,
spear gun.
We were watching it he goes by that manta ray or whatever it is, and you're like, is he gonna kill that? Like he's not actually gonna eat that, are they? Like, but he doesn't.
Look, Cochrane could catch fish with a railgun spearfish like that. Okay, like the worst spearfisher could. Rizzo, who couldn't even barely get into the water last season, could catch a fish with that type of weaponry. I was expecting a grenade to see if he could just throw it in there and kill a whole bunch of fish. In the
He just electrocutes them all, and they'll pop up. And he's like,
I said it reminded me of dynamite fishing.
Yeah, I guess depending on what your feelings are on hunting and I guess this being fish more like
But Dave, no. Survivor's always been about hunting and fishing and everything like that in the concept of the episode, right? As we get to learn the characters of the show, Why are we spending half an hour learning about Zac Brown? He's not going to be on there next week.
I did think, well, like they were giving us like these incredible underwater shots of him, like these wide shots and everything else, him and his flippers, like flying around with his rail gun and his frog suit, whatever he had on. You know, it was
Looked like a superhero.
No, I got a legitimate question. Foster, hello. How you doing?
Hi.
Foster, like, tell me 3 things about Tiffany this season versus 3 things you learned about Zac Brown this episode.
I'll be honest, as soon as it was on and it was on him, I looked away and it was on my phone but it was still, I could still hear just in case, but I did not pay attention. I did not care, because what it really comes down to is that provided absolutely nothing to the season. There was nothing that was like, you're at home, you're a country, like I'm not a country fan, and I'm trying to remove my emotions from it all, right? And it's fun to have, poke fun at all this stuff and all that, all these things, but and this is what I was kind of seeing about, like, when they showed, like, what was it, Jimmy Kimmel and like and Mr. Beast, and here's the thing, like, this is season 50. I don't like at the beginning, like Dave said, acknowledging, like, he seems like he's talking nice, he's genuine, like all that, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, it was not about the show, and that's what really kind of, like forget all the stuff that he did or said, whatever it was. There was nothing worth of value brought to this season by doing that. And, him being there, that being a reward, all the camera time that he took, it, as a viewer of Survivor, you're not there to watch him. You're not there to watch, the celebrities, and you're not, like, that's never been a part of the game. And if they're doing season 50, they need to honor the series as it is. This is not an attempt to bring in new fans, right? This is basically an attempt to, like, secure sponsors. You know what I mean? There's no rhyme or reason as to why this and what are going to be several more attempts to insert, celebrities, if you will, like, at least with the Billie Eilish, and I just, again, separating it, right? At least it was a concept that actually added value to the game, right? It doesn't, like, whatever, she put her name on the idol and all that, but
every time you have to say Billie Eilish, boomerang idol, it gets to be a mouthful.
Yeah, again, but at least you know that it is actually a piece of the game, like, it actually does something, right? And like Jaemeel said, like, it only affected like 2 or 3 people that you did not go to that reward. Like, if you're the Survivor contestants.
It totally goes against what my defense too, where I said, this is a celebration of Survivor. It's like WrestleMania where they bring with the celebrities. But if I recall, at WrestleMania 1, Liberace didn't come out and spearfish for a half hour. So I think
it would have been something.
It just doesn't seem. No. It just doesn't seem like, like, I don't understand. Again, like, this was not. There was literally, like, he shows up, great. Okay, now we're watching him fish. Why? Okay, now he's gonna sing.
So he can feed them this wild fish, this fresh caught fish.
I would laugh if all of them got sick.
Like we know that, like, the thing about Survivor is that, it makes you, to an extent, believe that, they're on their own, they're working, they're tired, they're hungry, and all these things. And, to have this additional, again, like, it added no value, right? So I'm trying to be very, like, I guess, down to the root of it, if you will, right? Just remove all the emotion, the frills. Like, it just did not make any sense. And because, again, like, if they're going to do this throughout the season, which we've seen they are, right? If it doesn't bring value, then I'm not going to be, like, I'm just going to turn my head.
I think they thought it had. devil's advocate. I think they thought it had value. I think they thought it was like,
The
you know,
contestants?
well, just so they got music, the nourishing the soul. Like they've had rewards where you go
okay.
off and you see like
Yeah,
I don't know,
Dave.
like traditional
Dave.
Fijian dance or something. And
Zac Brown fans, band fans, the Zac heads, whatever you.
Zach
guys call them.
heads, as they're known.
Whatever.
As I'm told, at least.
Yeah. Dude,
I made that up.
Zach showing up on Survivor, so I'm gonna watch episode 4 of season 50 out of the blue. Right? It doesn't work that way.
This is the same. Okay, and that's a very small example.
In fact, they downplayed it in the next time on Lost. So we would go, oh, we can just skip a half hour of the show. Sorry, Foster, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, like so they do this. They've done this in the NFL where, you know, Taylor Swift. She's now engaged to one of the big tight ends in the NFL, right? And that was the NFL chose to like, you know, make a bigger deal than it was about it, right? And it brought in, you know, all because you know who she is and what she brings to, you know, in terms of her following. But again, as someone watching the football, you know, just like watching Survivor, like that's not what we're watching for. Like this is literally, it's almost like an insult to the game, right? It's an insult to the NFL because you're taking away from the actual contestants. You're taking away from the actual gameplay, right? Like
Foster, you're telling me you didn't enjoy whenever they cut away to Taylor Swift drinking in her $1 million box?
I was thinking about
I'm trying to keep a level headed here, Jaemeel. Okay, you're really, you know, I'm trying to be calm. You know,
I see
I'm
the
trying not
parallels
to.
though.
I keep bringing it back to wrestling because that was the example Jason used, and I'm like, yeah, when Pamela Anderson was at Royal Rumble, that was distracting. You know, that whole time at SummerSlam where Leslie Nielsen was looking for the Undertaker.
I just think wrestling is a different example because wrestling is your first wrestling show that you watch, right? Can be at any time because there's a storyline that usually starts off in every episode, so you have something to hook onto. Right, we're 4 episodes into the season of season 50, right? And did they advertise it at the beginning of the season that Zac Brown was going to be on the season?
I think they've mentioned it. Yeah,
I missed it. Then okay, never mind.
Mr. Beast is coming too, and Foster's going to have an existential crisis by then. But
they showed all of this. They showed a bunch of the celebrities on the trailer for the season as well.
I know.
I was aware that Zac Brown was coming.
Yeah, Christian won't be eliminated until Jimmy Kimmel shows up, so I'd never worry about him being eliminated anytime soon.
Well, how about this comment here from Drew Mac? It's a celebrity that are fans of the show. That kind of seems to be one of the themes for this season. That's what they're going for. Billie Eilish idols. You got Zac Brown, Fish.
But again,
you
can be a fan, but then don't spend 20 extra minutes like watching. I don't want to watch you.
I watched 49 seasons of Survivor. Why am I not seeing previous survivors that I haven't seen in a long time show up instead? Where's Rupert from his insane asylum broken out and getting them fish? Or you know, the Sandra Diaz anyone but me idol, right? The Russell I won't pass out this time idol. Like
no, you're stuck on exile with Russell, just you and him.
Yeah.
He gives you a seminar on how to be a millionaire.
I'll pay you to be the lone survivor, Russell Hance, you know, idol.
I just imagine though, like Rupert showing up on the beach that I escaped from an insane asylum and I'm here. You have to help me, and then the castaways have to figure
Rizzo mistakes him for Dude Love instead.
Goes into a Mickey Mouse voice. It would be quite the reaction.
Just on the Zac Brown thing, I thought he kind of looked like Fred Durst, and I was like, you know what? If Fred Durst came out to the island and was like, I'm going to play acoustic versions of all your favorite Limp Bizkit tracks, I would probably have a D-like reaction. So maybe, yeah, I'd just be swaying to it's all about the ahi. I did it for the ahi. So.
And then I'm like, and you just hear me randomly shout, "Chocolate starfish!"
Yeah, yeah,
What a guy here. Yeah. Okay.
To be fair, if it was Wes Borland and he was just playing the bass, I would probably be pretty hyped too.
I know, because Wes Borland plays the guitar, so it'd be crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Foster. Dave, you may resume, birthday boy.
Well, thank you, sir. So we've covered this Zac Brown thing, I think, quite a bit here. What else in this?
Yet?
Yeah, we talked about Mike White already too, like the fact that we've lost him here. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Jaemeel, before we move on to, I guess, more we saw in this episode.
White Lotus season 4 production has started.
That's what I was saying. Like, he gets to go and continue writing season 4 of White Lotus now. So
Yeah, he was totally cool.
He's wiping his tears on his $1 million Hollywood deals and such.
Foster, you got an agreement here from 21 Drew Mac. It's a shame that this is the theme. Praise the contestants in the game instead of these random celebrities who claim to be fans. Maybe they're not even real fans. Maybe they're a bunch of posers, Foster. And
again, it's just again, like it really, like, and again, you said, we're both back, and everyone, it's just kind of repeating it all. Like, it's just taking away from, the season, right? Like, we're not going to positively think back on this season of this experience, right? Like, I just, again, like, one thing I was thinking about is that, like, let's just say it's later on in the season, and it's like, let's just say someone, like a celebrity, comes on that, let's say, for me, I enjoy, or it's a wrestler, for instance, Jason, you know what I mean? Like, someone that I actually enjoy in their profession, or, their line of work. How would I then feel about them being in a game where, you know what I mean? Like, how does that flip side to it go, right? Because, we're seeing it as, clearly not, country Zac Bryan fans, whatever, right? But, if for me, let's just say it's a football player, right? Like, it's, Tom Brady, whatever, right? Because I'm a Patriots fan. Let's just say hypothetically, or, it's John Cena, right? For Jason, for WWE, you know what I mean? Like, then how would you feel about?
It would be Roman Reigns taking to the Isle of Relevancy.
Yes.
Well, he's from the islands, right? Like, I think Kauai, like Samoa, whatever, right? I think that's
Samoa.
But
Samoa.
But again, though, it's again, like, if you're stripping all that away, I keep repeating myself, but it just takes away from it, right? And like, I think Jason said it best. Like, it would have been so cool if they, their appearances were like, oh, okay, you ask Russell to come play this season, let's just say, and he said no. Let's just say it's him or somebody else, because I'm sure they asked other contestants to come back, right, before this cast was complete. And maybe some of the reasons people didn't come back was because they physically can't do it, right? So what if they come in just for a season to, like, be a part of the challenge, right? Where they're like, they're yelling, or they're directing, or, like, they get to pick a team, you know what I mean? Like, there actually, like, is a
like when the loved ones play with the loved ones, but 5 people come and are the team captains, and that would be amazing.
Like something, again, like
Foster,
something that
you need to write
within...
for Survivor, because I now want that.
Yeah, that'll be great. Foster, just imagine they're like loved ones / ex teammates, and Charlie gets Maria as his partner.
Like, in a season like this where you have all past players, like, they would have to presumably have a couple alternates, right? Like, as well. Like,
it also sorry to cut you off, Dave, but just to, like, finish that thought, like, even, like, I know that, in the challenge, what they've brought in before is they're called, like, they've had, like, seasons where they bring in called mercenaries, right? And basically it's like a legend of the game comes in and fights it in an elimination, right? So you bring in a legend of Survivor, to participate for a 1 episode type of thing, right? So there could have been so many more ways to go about, it's almost like they do call back to previous seasons, but then they're trying to gain new followers for the new seasons. So it doesn't make sense to me.
Like, Survivor brand synergy should consist of Survivor, because learning about, let's say you've never seen Charlie's season, that little bit about how Charlie got screwed, you're like, I want to know exactly how that happened. Oh, you can watch it on Paramount Plus. You can even go to the friggin' episode and see it all thing. Christian and Gabby, right? You can see all of that. How did Rizzo and Savannah's relationship flourish, right? Why is Joe known as like all these things? It should be self-directed, right? Self-referential, right?
Right.
For people who are new. If 50 is your first season, here's a whole bunch of people that played in previous seasons that are considered some of the best. Here are the episodes to see why they're some of the best, right? Like where's that synergy? I barely see it.
Well, I don't know how to respond to that. Does anyone else have a take?
No, CBS execs don't either because they don't make the big bucks, but Foster
Yeah,
would.
I agree. And also, I was thinking it would be crazy if there was a Survivor channel that had almost like an X-ray thing, where if there's like a pop-up when a thing is happening, you click on it, and maybe another video it goes to like a segment to give you more context. That's what I was happening in my head when Jaemeel was explaining all that. But I agree, man. I think the celebrity thing is contrived. I know I've used that word already tonight for another
okay.
whole thing.
We're allowed to use it twice.
But I just want, like, I really like the Billie Eilish Boomerang idol. I don't like a half hour of Zac. Find somewhere in the middle at least if you're gonna have a celebrity. Like Mr. Beast, I assume is just gonna be like, here's a briefcase, and that I'll be fine with that, even though
they're gonna do Mr. Beast games. I bet you.
yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe that's a segue there, because I want to talk about the other tribes. Obviously we got really into the dynamics of the Vatu tribe and how Mike White goes out there, but I want to talk also about the new Callow tribe, the new Green tribe, which was the team that ultimately did win the immunity tonight.
Doesn't callow mean like frightened and weak will?
Yes, but in Fijian it probably means sky or something.
Okay.
So this was the team that did get the Zac Brown reward and got to get the nourish their souls with the music, and it made them sway. You got Aubrey, obviously the Aubrey Genevieve feud is an ongoing storyline of this season, and I think something that is coming to a head sooner or later.
I'm glad I didn't pick neither of those characters because I feel like they're gonna take each other out.
Genevieve.
Foster, you have Genevieve. I'm not sure who has Aubrey.
Or they're gonna fall in love and get it on in the bushes.
Jen has Aubrey. Yeah. maybe they're gonna turn around and fall in love here. But ultimately, Aubrey's looking for a second idol. She has one of the boomerang idols, and but Genevieve's being quite annoying and following her around, and is not making too big of a secret of it.
Honestly, Aubrey should just fart in front of Genevieve constantly.
Well, that would be a tactic.
I'm just saying. At a certain point, if someone keeps like looking for you all the time, you're like, look, my bowels aren't doing so well. I need to do some BMs, so you're gonna have to excuse me. And they're like, I don't believe you. And then if you lay the groundwork, if you will, right?
Well,
right?
What if you can't go? What if you have like stage fright?
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going with it. But ultimately, Genevieve finds another boomerang idol here. Let's not bury that lead, that headline here.
True.
And then she ultimately will send that to Rizzo over on Sela.
There's 3 in play now, right? All 3 of them, I guess.
All 3 are in play now. So one is in the hands of Ozzy now, which came to him from Genevieve.
Yes.
Right? And then one is in the hands of Aubrey, which came from Christian, and then one is with Rizzo now that has come over from Genevieve again. Genevieve had 2 of these in this play, so that those are it's only the 3 of them, right? There's no more than that.
I think so.
So potentially Genevieve can get 2 of them back if they boomerang to her.
She also chose Rizzo because she knows that Rizzo would be easy to vote out if it came down to it, and she could get that one back.
And Rizzo trusts her.
And because Rizzo does trust her, yeah.
Right. And what did you think of Rizzo's reaction to receiving the idol?
If he stands up and does his shit again, I'm going to be mad. It won't work. It's just going to make everybody angry, and he'll just go home.
If he goes up and says, "Oh, I'm not playing the idol," like if he says Jeff, and if he actually walks up there and says, "Nah," I'm like, this is just a
I
farce.
feel what would happen is Christian and Devins would reach for their fake one, and then he'll go and play it when he doesn't need to.
Yes. Well, Devon's there. But how like other than like the whole Aubrey and Genevieve of that tribe, like I don't know how like what else is going on there? You got Colby now, Joe and Coach who are like this. I don't know this old man like vibe coalition that's trying the like the Justice
Aubrey
League.
says, I believe I need to get away from the old folks' home when she goes on her
Yes.
walk.
Yes. And just to do a little cleanup from last week, where we talked about Coach and Chrissy's relationship, it was revealed online that Coach did say more than that, and it was just presented in that light that Chrissy did really appreciate Coach, and they had a pretty decent bond.
Oh,
So a little cleanup, just a little cleanup
where does that? Where do they even get that info from?
from
'Cause there's no
Chrissy.
But there's, oh, okay. But there's no Ponderosa or anything, and they're not allowed to talk until they're voted off, I thought.
No, they will still like they've been pretty vocal on X. On Twitter, sorry.
Okay.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
Right. Well, yeah. Anyway, from there, I don't know. Like, what? Like they did pretty good in that challenge. They were able to win that puzzle tonight, so they seem pretty strong. I don't think we're getting another swap for a little bit. Seems like these.
Speaking of the challenge,
they're
I don't know if
screwed
you-
then.
We have not talked about the challenge itself too much, other than the fact that Vatu shouldn't have voted out Q. He would have.
Oh, there
really
was
helped.
there was a challenge. I completely forgot what happened in this episode because there was someone taking away from the whole enjoyment of the Survivor Season 50.
Well, before we start talking about the challenge, just a little hashtag. Every time this challenge shows up, I always say justice for Jess. Jess, we still appreciate you, or at least I do. That tribe was wrong. It wasn't your fault. All right. Live well, Jess. Justice for Jess.
Like if you don't, I think that this incentive in the challenge was an interesting twist. Like I know you weren't a fan, or most, there's kind of like these feelings about the whole Zac Brown of it all. But I think to these players, they thought this was a very desirable reward. They wanted it.
They want the food.
They wanted the food, and they also wanted the celebrity experience. Especially Dee, as you could see, she was in particular really going for this.
Zac Brown, she grew up, and Zac Brown was very instrumental for her dealing with.
She unironically said, "Your music changed my life," like the meme.
Yeah. So she was all for it there.
Your music saved my life, rather. Sorry.
And I like this whole thing, like, okay, you're gonna get the reward, and like the second place team gets immunity, but not anything else. And then the other tribe goes to tribal, as that has to be Vatu here. But it made that this race pretty tight. I don't know, like the fact that it only was a 2-way race in the end instead of a 3-way race. I didn't really care. I feel like everyone was so disappointed with how far out Vatu was, but I was like, this is like, for once we get like, you can see the results of voting out a strong player, and like just the evidence of that when you get this challenge, we have to push this big boat.
I don't think the team was remarkably too disappointed with the fact, or like oh my gosh, we are going to lose. They knew, like a good portion of that team knew they were going to lose if any physical challenge came up.
Well, you saw that Mike said, "Why are you looking at us when you say you lose?" And then Jeff's like, "I'm not. I'm saying it to all tribes equally."
But Chris is like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to tribal council next week. Next time.
Ozzy
Like,
said it too.
Yeah.
Look, some teams are just more equal than other teams. Okay.
Some teams are more equal. They got some teams have Jonathan's team comes second here, but he was like really the linchpin of their side. You saw they sat Suri out in this challenge, which was a smart move. They can't sit her out every time. Yeah, classic. She was just like, we're gonna have country music, and she was excited for it. So allegedly,
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He's a huge Zac Brown fan.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Orange Tribe too, because I think like Sela, as they exist now, you got Jonathan, Rizzo, Dee, Camilla, Suri, Rick Devens, and Charlie. And that tribe, well, they had a talent show in this episode.
That was really all they did this episode was the talent show.
The talent show was fun.
Well, really, with Rick Devens, who refers to him and Christian as like, Kirk and Spock, but then when he does his juggling, what does he hum? Do you know what he hum?
Was it
I
Star
don't-
Wars?
Was it
He
Star Wars?
hummed the Star Wars Cantina music.
Oh yeah,
This
and
this
then
man.
juggled poorly.
Yes, this
So
man.
it's okay. I'm not gonna get on Rick Divens' case for that.
I
It's
am.
This is a Star Trek channel. Okay.
well, it's it's the sister channel or brother channel, or however it works. But it's but it's okay.
We did a whole Star Wars month last month.
I'm okay if Rick Devens mixes some Star Wars and Star Trek references into a season. He's not there. Like, he doesn't. He's not wearing a Starfleet uniform. It's it's not completely he whatever. Like, ultimately, we see that Rizzo has this Mickey Mouse voice ability. Let's not bury that lead. That didn't come up in 49. That's a new thing.
He want to get fired 49.
Yeah.
Camilla's
but-
like, I haven't heard Mickey Mouse since I was 3 years old, and I couldn't help to be like, what?
But-
How did you avoid hearing Mickey Mouse for 30 years?
Yes. Well, I think that the real storyline of this season, of this tribe, and here in this season, is Charlie versus Rizzo.
Yeah.
And how Charlie is a broken, freighted man. Like, he is like, this is the narrative of this particular storyline, because he was broken by, what was it, Maria in his season, right? Who was his ride or die until she didn't vote for him in the end, and now he finds out that Rizzo did vote for his number one, which is not even true, because Rizzo told basically the wrong version here. So Charlie has not seen that season to even know otherwise. And Charlie is basically going crazy in this talent show. Like, you can see it here when Rizzo wins. Charlie goes into a rant that he tries to make a joke and they're laughing, but it's always about to go a little too far. If you were there in the moment, it might be a little uncomfortable. And we see, like, going into the next thing, that Rizzo seems to be on to Charlie by the next episode, and Operation Bad Blood is on. Seems to be the
Taylor Swift reference. Yay.
Taylor. Well, yeah, because Rizzo is more familiar with Charlie than the other way around here. That's the Russell Hantz advantage, if you will. Not the same kind of player, just that not having been see.
We need Charlie to make it to jury. Okay, that's all that matters.
Why do you want Charlie in the jury?
Because I want Rizzo, if he makes it to third place or to the finals, so that Charlie can swear that he's going to vote for him and then take away his vote at the last second. So it's parallel.
Okay. So you want Charlie to suffer. You just want him to, but you want this to go on longer.
I want Charlie to get a little retribution, right?
Oh, you want that story. You want Charlie to go, look, I showed them, and now I feel better.
Even though it's so misguided, it's so putting your
Perfect.
He needs therapy, not Survivor. That should be the name of an episode. In fact, that sounds like the name of a Survivor episode.
We should have known with the Taylor Swift obsessions. Like, this man is a little unhinged, and then he has this trauma for Survivor. He's back playing Survivor again. He's fixating on Rizzo. Rizzo has this Mickey Mouse voice, right? And I think we're gonna see Charlie one day in the asylum, and it's gonna be the Mickey Mouse. It might be like what's that, like the clown from It, Pennywise, but it will be Rizzo, and he'll be doing a Mickey Mouse voice, but he'll be like in clown makeup. This is I'm just imagining this on the spot, but I think this could work.
His cellmate is Rupert.
Yeah.
I escaped from the asylum again, but then they put me in this asylum. That would be fun. Well, I think this is a good segue for the preview of the next episode, which was we saw a lot of that was about Charlie and Rizzo here. Let's have a look. This one.
It doesn't make any sense.
Ozzy is pissed. Everybody lied to him.
Next time on Survivor. Both losing tribes. We'll go to tribal. Wow!
I'm sure as hell gonna get Rizzo before he gets me.
This is Operation Bad Blood.
Called
Was
it.
was Rizzo talking to Stephanie? Who was he talking to?
He was talking to D.
D. Oh yeah. Okay.
I said in episode 2 there was going to be an episode where there was going to be 2 tribals to.
Well, they have to,
In
right?
the
Because they're
herd.
playing the same amount of days, but they have like 6 more people than in the other seasons, and so like I guess with Kyle going out where he did, I guess helped that a bit, that they could maybe spread this out, because like Mike White gets voted out here on day 9, and Q got voted out only 1 day earlier, so we're losing 4 people in like 3 days. It's like boom, 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 rapid fire vote outs, which is okay, I guess.
So
Joe
how
Joe's
many episodes?
still
How many episodes
in May.
to? How many episodes to merge?
I think it's probably another 3 episodes
Yeah.
until we get to merge, because, or maybe, and they might do this back-to-back vote out thing again, because we're only going into episode, like the next episode's episode 5. Like they probably won't do the merge until 7 at the earliest.
7 out of 12 episodes.
Yeah, out of 13, I
Five,
think.
There's
13, 13 episodes.
13. Yeah.
Okay, 7. Okay, sure, 7.
Right, so they're gonna have to quickly vote out people here. So I don't mind. Like, if even if they did this back-to-back episodes, like both of the losing tribes have to vote somebody out. That's fun. Why do we have to keep everyone so safe? Like, one team wins immunity, the other 2 don't. Let's play some cutthroat Survivor here. Let's get people out.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I miss the days of 2 tribes, but it doesn't seem like I'm getting that anytime soon. Seems like we like 3 tribes or 1 tribe.
They should do a Cook Islands 4 tribes again.
4 tribes. That was a fun season in terms of that format.
That was the part of the format that you enjoyed, Dave.
The 4 tribes. Yeah, I thought the 4
Okay.
tribes was good.
Okay.
Ozzy was that season. Penner, some other great players. So
They should do it more offensive and be like, well, I'm not gonna. Never mind. What
Yeah.
you saying, Dave?
Orientation. This is the binary group.
Gays versus Okay, good story. I was gonna say autistic. No, don't go there either.
See,
No.
I said the non-binary, non-binary team.
we could get the Zach heads versus the non.
How about lawyers versus doctors versus
Cops.
nurses versus cops? There you go.
versus terrorists.
versus MAGA. MAGA versus liberal.
MAGA versus like the I don't know, Antifa. Go.
Yeah.
Or they do like a returning season, but they have like predators, so they get the exec who is touchy feely with everyone.
Oh no, that Jaemeel.
Too soon. Too
much.
soon.
Too much.
Too soon.
Too
Look, there's a whole bunch of predator. What's his name? Scoopin. Like Survivor's past history isn't that clean, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've had some bumps in the road.
Predators versus preachers versus
cops.
Yeah.
prisoners, like people in jail.
Versus MAGA.
Yeah. Just quickly checking in. So we on the draft, as I mentioned, I think it was who had Mike White here? Amanda and Jeff.
Yeah,
So-
sorry, Amanda, Jeff.
They have Sari and Devins still.
Is Dave? I don't know if you immediately remember this. Is this the longest I've gone without having a member of my team eliminated? Because it feels like it.
I don't keep official records on that subject, but I think you're doing pretty well. By the feel, like vibes and my basic feeling here. Becky and Jaemeel still having Chrissy, Colby, and Tiffany all on the board.
That's a good, squad.
The old couple with the Tiffany as the candy striper nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun little jumper, I guess. Team
They're gonna-
Jason.
they're gonna-
Let's talk about Team Jason. You got Ozzy. Well, Q, of course, you've lost. No, I mean Emily, who I think had a big episode here. Although, okay, can we just talk? It's interesting that you have both Emily and Ozzy, because, like, this whole thing that went down here, and that they were going to get out. But to Emily, Christian comes to Emily, and Emily's like, I have to tell Ozzy. Ozzy did something nice for me or something, and I feel indebted to Ozzy. As much as she's a player, she seems very emotional when it comes to him. Whether Ozzy's loyal to Emily, I don't know. I don't think so. But we're gonna see how this his reaction here in the next episode.
All three
to
of
me-
my people ended up on the same tribe, embroiled in the same controversies. I have no idea how this happened. I'm a producer on Survivor, apparently.
Mhm.
But everyone agreed Emily handled it the wrong way.
Yeah, she can't shut up. She was foot and mouth disease or
But
whatever.
but you can't do it halfway. She could have pulled Ozzy aside and looks like, look, you're safe. You're not gonna like what's gonna happen, but you're safe, okay? Don't worry about it, but I just want to let you know. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I pulled you just before we left. I just want to tell you this. Don't do anything. Just go with the flow. You're safe. Right?
And who am I voting for then? I would say if I was him.
Just do what you go with the flow. Do what you're gonna do.
What does that
Don't-
mean? No,
Just
you
go with
guys-
the flow.
Who are we voting for?
Oh, but Emily doesn't like being told stuff at the last second, and that totally screws up her her compass, her playing compass.
I don't
So,
know if you and I should
that's
play
what-
Survivor together, Jaemeel, because I'd be like, "Who are we voting for?" You'd be like, "Just go with the flow." I'd be like, "What do you mean go with the flow? I can't go with the flow."
Dave, you would trust me because I wouldn't do anything to, mess up that trust. I'm just talking about Emily and
Oh my
Ozzy.
god, you just politicked him. You just manipulated him.
I don't even know what we're doing, but okay, fine. Just as long as it's not me.
As long as it's not you, you're good.
Foster, we gotta
You're
vote
good,
for
Dave,
Jaemeel
baby.
tonight. I saw him talking to Dave. And it's bad mojo, bro.
Emily's the worst. I can't believe the tribe didn't vote her out. Well, I'm enjoying her as a character on this
Survivor, 'cause
season.
They'd be like, it'd be hilarious to vote that guy off. That's my fear.
He's an
Wouldn't
agent
be
of
funny?
chaos.
Yeah. Is there anyone you're really hoping will get voted off this season? Like everyone's like
Stephanie.
Stephanie, yes.
Besides Stephanie, because that's an
He's
easy
a
one.
fucking Nazi.
Stephanie.
Besides
You're hoping for
Stephanie-
Zac Brown to be voted off, never to return. Banished.
I actually want Rizzo to be eliminated, honestly.
Yeah, he still hasn't won you over, Rizzo,
No.
after all this time? No, still. How about you, Foster? Is there anyone you really want to see go? Rizzo?
Yeah, Rizzo, and I'd probably say D.
Mm-hmm.
And my third, if we're gonna do a top three for because I just said I want one, I would probably say Coach.
You want Coach to go? You like watching him cry to Zac Brown tonight?
No, trying to
I
squeeze
don't
out a
like
single
how
tear for
he-
5
how
minutes
fake-
to Zac
how-
Brown. You mean
That man was weeping. He was
No,
so.
he's going like this?
The more and
best-
more I see Coach, the more and more I realize how fake he is. Like it's just
Yeah, he's the
it's
worst.
Foster, tell
Yeah.
me you didn't laugh when Genevieve when she found the idol. She's like Dragon Slayer.
I know Giovanni's my pick, but I do think like
Yeah,
at
like,
least,
I was about
like,
to check in. Who?
she's quirky and stuff, right? But I mean, Aubrey's just like angry. It feels like they have the same kind of style of play, but Genevieve's like kind of quirky a little bit. Like maybe she plays a little bit too hard sometimes, but Aubrey's just like
Did
screw
Aubrey
everyone.
lose
I hate
money
you all.
on like a
And it's
pro
just, like, very
line with
abrasive.
Genevieve? Foster, you're absolutely right. Did like Aubrey lose money on Genevieve on like a pro line
Yeah,
like
it's weird.
bet or something? Because she came in angry, like, hey, wait, I lost $50 on Genevieve. No, I don't like her.
Yeah,
It
like
also
what I
feels like
what
Aubrey
I
is
changed
off
with my
of her
strategy this
her
season.
meds.
Yeah, when I picked Genevieve and Aubrey, I had what was it, the 8th and then the 10th pick, right? Because it was snake draft.
Yeah.
And I think no, sorry, seventh. It was 8 people, right? So 7th.
You had
and
you took Genevieve at 7, yeah.
yeah, so 7th and then 10th pick, right? Because it went back around, and
Then,
so I
Camilla at
picked
10.
because I feel like with Genevieve and Camilla, like they're not as like Genevieve. I think won one or two individual immunities. I know Camilla won the one close to the end in her season, but I feel like Camilla more than Genevieve flies under the radar in the sense of like especially Camilla this season, you can tell like she's gonna make it post merge. I think she's gonna, just the way that the season's kind of playing out. The only way that at this point, the way she's gonna be voted out is if she's like kind of like a odd person out. Like just in terms of like, oh, like there's 4 of them and only 2 of us. You know what I mean? Like she's just not doesn't get solidified, right? But again, because she's kind of low key, she's going to, I think, just kind of fly under the radar for a really long time. Genevieve is a little more like she needs to take out Aubrey, I think, or someone's going to take out Aubrey before anything happens. So
well, they haven't got to tribal. You got to go to tribal to get these people out, right? So like everyone's hot to get it. Like Charlie wants to get Rizzo out, but he can't because they keep winning. So
I believe in you, Charlie.
he's gonna be one of the first people in a long time to throw a game or something, just so he can get rid of his boy.
I killed the Riz god, and now I have the Riz. And
just on that note, quickly though, like I don't really. The players that are annoying, I want to stay in the game because I love cringe. I want the boring people out like Joe. He doesn't really do anything. I know. Don't say it too loud.
I won't say it for Becky might be nearby.
Bex might be in the house. But like he just is he's not doing it. Like I like to see him in his season because that was an interesting dynamic with Eva. But this time he's just kind of hanging with the boys. And I would say somebody else like that is pretty much everybody else. I'm like, I want to watch them play. Yeah, that's right. 21 Drew Mac. I said what I said.
I don't know. Like Aubrey, I could lose. I'm not rooting for her per se. Tiffany, I'm not like she's barely on the show so far.
There's also the 9 people I have on my for money fantasy survivor. Like Tiffany hasn't really done much, but I like Tiffany. I liked her in her season. She's interesting once she gets going. She's just chilling right now. She's laying back because she doesn't need to. She can just.
It's nothing for her to do, so she's just whatever.
Yeah,
that's fine. There's a bunch of players right now because they're like only one team goes to tribal, so like it's like they're like, oh well, if we could, we get we'd probably go after Aubrey, or we'd probably go after
Hot take number 3 is Ozzy. He's a Band-Aid pull because he's inevitably going home, and it's always going to be inopportune because people love Ozzy. But just pull the Band-Aid. Just get like that season when he came and played like 2 weeks and was gone. Just pull the Band-Aid.
Well, I think if they lose again, like if they're not immune in the next episode, I think that they might very well vote out Ozzy, which is even more. It depends. Like they're like, well, we're about to merge anyway, so what? We'll vote out maybe one more of us after that. You might be.
Which would make me sad though, ultimately, because Ozzy never got his redemption for Amanda.
Yeah, I don't know. This version of Ozzy, I feel, is so different to me. How I remember the past versions of Ozzy. This version, I don't know. He's middle aged. I've seen him in a porno now. It's kind of weird.
Oh, you saw it?
Oh, I saw it. Because Jane pulled it out when I told her, and she was just like, so I was like, all right, I guess I got.
Jane, you minx.
Yeah, and
was it a porno or a sex tape leak?
No. It was. This was like framed and like I'm
Ozzy from Survivor, and I brought you a pizza.
It wasn't the best stuff I've ever seen, and but it was. But he's got that mojo, and he runs a restaurant. Apparently, Mike White likes to frequent too.
Was there spearfishing in it?
Yeah, the spearfishing, and like he can. I don't know. He's a man of many talents, I guess. What can you say about Ozzy? I don't know. Like the whole vibe of it here. I guess if like they without Suri too. Like I almost want to see him be voted out this season. He's probably at the top of my list actually. And I know Foster and Jaemeel are not fans of Rizzo. I don't know how you feel about him so much, Jason. These in this season, like
he's benign to me. I am amused. I'm amused by him when he's on the screen. I don't think about him when he's not on the screen.
Okay.
I never really came around on liking him per se, but I think the end of his season, like I thought that he was a good survivor. Like he survived. He cockroached his way to the end of the game. I hated him at first, but this season he's like a jester. He's like a laughing moron. And I'm like, okay, Rizzo, do your little Rizzo thing and the adults are talking.
I think he's a threat to win the season.
I don't know about all that.
We'll see. You're gonna be like, okay, back on Dave's birthday, he said,
Well, it's your birthday. I don't want to.
Riz God, I predicted it. And everyone's like, well, we don't argue with you on such a holy day. And so we will pray to the Riz God. But, maybe he forsake us. Well, I will apologize for my blasphemous prediction. When it ends up, I don't know, someone like Emily ends up winning the season or something like that instead.
Emily win the season.
He rizzed up Jason. That's right. Okay, so we looked at the next episode. We've looked ahead. So I think we can probably wrap up here for tonight. What's going on Hey, did you see this one this week?
We are almost through the Spring Grimoire Familiar Killers. This week we have a brand new guest on who's never been on before, Trevor Pullman. He has a YouTube channel where he basically takes like Christian and Catholic idiots like in comment sections and then just pretty much pulls apart why they're wrong. He's kind of like an atheist pundit. But we're talking about Alien, which is also a very atheist feeling movie. So I feel like he'll have lots to say both about the film and about religion as it relates. You can find that
have him do the last temptation of Christ.
Yeah. I'll have him do I'll have him do Passion of the Christ. We're doing Passion of the Christ tomorrow night. It's going to be a doozy. No, we are doing Alien, and you can find us each and every week here on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcasts at 8 p.m. Eastern live. And then over the weekend, I put it up on demand. And then this Friday also was Super Kicked here in Toronto. I'm the announcer for Super Kicked. And the main event, again, for the second month in a row, because they have to have a big rematch, is Eric Young versus Jesse V for the Super Kick Championship. It's going to be a crazy event. It's going to be a good time. We are sold out. Not yes. Tickets at the door, sold out. We are packing the place with nearly 400 people.
EY is a really good wrestler, so you should definitely check him out. Even though you always want to give this man a lozenge, he has an amazing voice. That's a great promo. I love some EY. So Eric Young is great.
Yes, Jaemeel, how's it going?
I was just going to say, just as the last thing for Jameel's sake, if you guys want to come to a show next month, he's doing kind of a residency with us for I think he's 6 shows. So if you miss him this month, you'll get to see him.
A residency, like he's a doctor. He's like
like you know how like Britney Spears did a residency in Vegas.
Oh, that kind of residency. Okay, yeah. I see. Jaemeel, I was going to ask you what's going on in True Currency right now.
Oh wow, I have so much to talk about regarding True Currency. So the latest update is I got married last month, and we haven't made a new episode since last year. Welcome to the update.
But next time you do, you'll be married now. So you have to say this was the episode when we weren't married, and then this episode 2 will be like post marriage, right? So
well, technically we recorded 2 episodes, we just haven't edited it yet and released it.
Okay, well then you can. There'll be a journey. There'll be like this journey in the podcast.
I love this bit so much. It's my favorite bit. It's like when Jack Black was going to record game content, but he couldn't get his game capture card to work, so he was just out fucking around in the COVID times. Anyway, excuse my language.
Yeah, of course.
Dave Foster, what's up?
What?
What's up? What you watching? What you into right now? What's the hot thing right now?
Oh, Invincible season 4 just came out today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
3 episodes.
Yeah, I watched. They're really long episodes, which is cool. So I was only able to get 1 episode in between work and this. So
I've never really watched that, but I've seen some clips and it seems pretty good.
Yeah,
Dave, it's always a it's always a good time to start.
Yeah,
always could be.
Okay. Don't worry, you'll come back and you'll be like, Foster, we need to do an Invincible podcast.
Oh, I was gonna just say, hey, check out Live Long in podcast. I clicked it prematurely, but that's how it goes sometimes. Check out all our Star Trek podcasts all the time over on that channel, including we're doing Next Generation episodes soon. It will be Transfigurations. This is the episode right before the Best of Both Worlds and the whole part 1 and part 2, right? So, but John Doe. So look out for.
So before we wrap up, just have to once again wish a very special birthday to my mother.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mom. Okay. To be fair, I also like to wish a happy birthday to my brother. Happy birthday. And then also, last but not least, Dave, happy birthday.
Your brother's also born today?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, God. Like, did I miss that?
I mentioned it to you.
I just was like, how could that be true? Like, that's incredible. So, 3 of us.
Yeah. And then my mother-in-law is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Robinsons. Swiss Family Robinson.
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson, and to all the March 18ers out there. And with that, we'll leave you with this clip for the end of the episode, everyone. I want to thank the whole panel, and we'll see you next time for the next episode, which is called Open Wounds. Ooh, it stings. All right, here we go.
This is going to be a tricky move to pull off. We're leaving Ozzy out of this. He seems real close to Mike. He really likes Mike. Ozzy is absolutely gunning for a White Lotus cameo. He won't vote for Mike. And I don't want Ozzy to spill the beans. This is too delicate. Mike is too good. He's too perceptive. So, yes, Ozzy might be mad. But I will take the blame for that.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mato Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.